and use those to make a difference. And so for me, it really is part of that process. You know, if I have the opportunity to fill, you know, a certain space in a way that others don't feel as comfortable, how can I not be doing that?
I think it's something I feel the same way about. I look at people like you and Tessa and Elizabeth and people that have gathered the courage and the strength to come out and talk and what that is actually doing for society, because it's a much bigger picture. The amount of shame that victims feel and the amount that sometimes we receive the feedback from people to stay silent, to I don't want to hear the story, it's too much for me. The knee-jerk reaction ends up really contributing to the prevalence of the abuse. So the idea that people like you, like us, can come together and have these conversations is a really important thing. I,
Great.
yeah, I applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, it's still remarkable to see, and I made this comment. I was having a conversation with somebody last week. I was on a local podcast about the local community, and I made a comment. We were talking about, you know, men and mental health and all that jazz. And I made a comment to somebody that last week I dropped off my kids for school, and I was in a bit of a rush. And I said, you know, usually I take them inside and I walk them to their classroom, and I just kind of drop them at the front door, and the teacher took them in. I said, I'm really sorry. I've got an appointment. I see my therapist at 9 o'clock. I just kind of made the comment off the cuff, not that I was looking for empathy, like I've got somewhere to be. And when I said the word therapist, the staff member in the school like blushed profusely, like, oh, he's going to see a therapist. And you know, I think it's part of this evolution process that the entire world is going through, where conversations need to be normalized, where,
Yeah.
you know, stigma needs to be taken down, and it is the only way we will heal as a world, we will heal as a society, is when we continue to develop the ability to have conversations that make us uncomfortable. And in a certain sense, you know, I would make the opposite point. If you're concerned that participating in a certain conversation might make you feel uncomfortable, it's probably a great indication that that's the sort of thing you need to be listening to, or the sort of conversation you need to be engaging in, because that's where real growth happens, is by engaging in
Absolutely.
those conversations.